Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Lessons from the Masters, and we're going to dive straight in to Your Invisible Power by Genevieve Behrend today. And an interesting insight actually into Behrend. She was the only student of Thomas Troward. Now, Troward, our first lesson, didn't really want to have students, and so he priced himself at $20,000 to work with him. Now, we're talking about the turn of the 20th century. Even today, $20,000 is a lot to work with someone. But back then, it was an extortionate amount of money. I think the rate today would make it equivalent to something like $240,000, $250,000. So you can see he really didn't care much to have students. But Behrend was determined to work for him, and she manifested her words, and she's got a chapter of it actually in here about how she did it, the required amount of money, and travelled by boat from New York to the UK and worked for months with Troward. And this book is the result of her working with him. So it's a really, really interesting book. And the lesson I want to read to you today goes: your personal advance and evolution depends upon your right use of the power of visualizing. And your use of it depends on whether you recognize that you, yourself, are a particular center through and in which the originating spirit is finding ever new expression for potentialities already existing within itself. This is evolution, this continual unfolding of existing through outwardly invisible things. Your mental picture is the force of attraction that evolves and combines the originating substance into specific shape. Its creative action is limitless, without beginning and without end, and always progressive and orderly. It proceeds stage by stage, each stage being a necessary preparation for the one to follow. Now, what she's talking about there is an orderly sequence to things. In other words, things progressing by law. And this is a really important distinction to pick out from these lessons, that everything in the universe operates by law. We either know the laws or we don't, but it makes no difference because these laws are 100% evenly present in all places at the same time, and they're working all the time. We cannot get away from them, so we either utilize them to our advantage or we are at the mercy of them doing what they do. And so that's what I want you to take from today's lesson, and that's what I want you to take from all of these lessons, that you can, should you desire, use these universal laws, use the power that you have inherently to create a new reality for yourself, to create a life in which you are the center of it, creating your own economy, creating your own health, creating your own relationships, and creating your own experiences. That, my friends, is what you need to understand right now. So don't fall foul of external stuff. Go internally and create your own. Thanks very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.